Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another Final Fantasy Randomizer community presentation on Randomania. Tonight, an Irongol heavy match between the unranked Dwight and the number 2 ranked BurtReynoldz. I'm RockSolid84, joined in the booth by Duchess for Kayosama. Duchess, how you doing tonight?
Cannot complain. It's a Monday afternoon. It's a nice one over here. Summertime. And we're about to see some of this fine Irongol heavy metal goodness. So I can't complain.
Yeah, definitely. Are you ready for some 2 out of 3 action?
Yes, indeedy. I most certainly am. And yes, you heard that correctly. This is going to be the best 2 out of 3. So y'all getting your money's worth. And it looks like, oh, holy mackerel. We already in that bad boy. The gate has dropped.
Dwight's off and running.
Leslie. Fall 2 for 6 coin. What? Well, looks like they'll be using some slow 2 in their lives and some rub.
Yeah, not the best black magic to get us going here. We like to see a sweeper in the early game, but I'm sure that our runners will figure out a way around it. And there's some half-decent armor in here. I'll take an iron +2 for $148. Oh, but no
Absolutely.
fighter.
Yeah, so unfortunately, we'll have to rock the wood +2. However, guys, what you are seeing correctly is the ship and as well as the airship is blessed to our individuals. So this is actually going to be more of a game because they both have the same party composition. This is really going to be high execution, if you will, because obviously the goal is to light the 4 orbs, destroy chaos. So if you both have an airship, who's got the better execution, quote unquote?
Yeah, and we on top of that, we've also got a shortened Topher with the all 4 Fiend refights on and alternate final bosses. So although our runners are going to want to be getting there as quickly as they can, they're going to have to make sure they have a couple of levels because that's a lot of powerful fights to do back to back.
That's very true. And as you can see, there's no black belts, so we won't be doing none of that.
That's right. So Dwight picks up Cube and Chime in Corneria Castle. That's full sky access, which I'm always a big fan of that early sky. Duchess, how about you?
I'm not a fan of early sky, to be completely honest with you. I'm more traditional. I'm checking out Provoker first. We don't have no sleepers. I mean, really, the way I play the game is every seed is different. So, if we came out with nuke level 1, then yeah, we doing early sky. All I gotta do is get to level 10. I'll have enough nukes to go around. But we don't. So looks like we're gonna have ourselves some nuke at level 2. There goes your sky. Sorry about that.
Yeah, not only that, so we got nuke and temper at level 2, which are basically the 2 most important spells. Well, maybe fast above temper, but and we also got life 2 and the white magic. So we're looking pretty good for magic all of a sudden.
Yeah, all of a sudden I think we're pretty good to go. And because it's a force, we also have a thief. The thief is actually going to aid us in the very beginning and the very end of the game. If we can find a katana, being as though with the thief, you can run away from fights as you please. That's very advantageous in the very beginning.
Yeah, a little bit strange. I'm still trying to wrap my head around seeing a thief and a ninja at the same time in this party composition. But of course, the ninja being the upgraded version of the thief has access to early black magic, and the katana, as you mentioned, is a very potent weapon in the ninja's hands.
Absolutely. Now, were they able to get nuke because it was in the 4th slot, or?
Well, that should be unlocked to the black mage that they have, but I didn't see if the ninja got it or not.
Yeah, that's what
the adamant is our vendor item, by the way, in Provoca, and we also picked up an item at Vicky. I think it was the not sure. I can't. Probably forgot. Check my notes here. I'm sure Jay Shidell got it. Yeah, the crown. And I'm sorry, Tracker Tonight is actually shadowed, and Jay Shidell is on the restream. So shout outs to both of them for doing race crew. As Dwight picks up his black magic.
TNT. And Burt picks up the TNT from Old Man Sauter. So Burt's on a mission to just grab as much as possible. Makes sense. maximize your experience via getting as many key items as possible.
Yeah, exactly. And Shadow's pointing out in chat that the ninja can learn all of the black spells at level 2. Well, all of them from levels 1 through 4, which means that Nuke should be available to that ninja as well.
Sick. Fade was at level 6. Not the worst thing in the world. Who cares, to be honest, when you have a Nuke? I know I'm saying that haphazardly because Fade is fire, but you got Nuke at level 2. You got Life 2 at level 2. Who cares? You got Temper. Who cares?
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, we got 2 casters that are throwing nukes out at level 2. It means you're going to have all the charges you need. So that white mage is going to be on Life 2 duty for sure, or maybe even taking a nap. I don't think they'll risk that, though, with the fact that these party members don't have a lot of great armor available to them.
That's true, and your white mage, to be honest, is going to be one that holds more HP than the others, realistically, so you need your white mage. Because if you find Masa, there you go.
Yeah, so the old men had the crystal, and we just saw Adastos had the bottle that he gave us for the crown.
Astos, yes, he did have the bottle.
You got to do something to pass the time when you're in that castle all alone. I guess he turned to the drink.
Pretty much. The grog. And lo and behold, the small +1. Excuse me, the small +2 for 1 coin. Buy yours now. We got fast at level 3.
Yeah, fast, Ice 3, and Bane, actually. That's a stack level.
Ice 3. Yeah, that's too good.
Dwight opting for Bane. Yeah, you're right. Look at that. And Invis too.
Yep, you're
all
good.
The magic.
This is it. This is all the magic. I don't even need to look at level 4. It's like there's nothing of value there at this point. I've got Temper. I've got Fast. I've got Life 2. I've got Cure 4. I've got Nuke.
Yeah, Exit was the only thing I was going to say.
That's true.
There it
Exit
is.
And Warp. And the almighty Lamp. I'm really disappointed that they didn't grab Lamp.
Yeah, Lamp for the memes. I'm also a big fan of Fire 3, but I seem to be in the minority there. And we do already have Nuke, so there's really no point in grabbing that.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's just like, sometimes I like to just fill out spaces in Magic. I don't know why, just for consistency, OCD maybe. But yeah, when you've already got Ice 3 at level 3 and Nuke at level 2, I mean, there's really no value for Fire 3 at a higher level.
Yeah, that's fair enough. We saw Pro Rings in Elfland for sale for about 19k. And our tracker, Shadow Flames, pointing out that there are 2 Sun Swords at Matoya's, which, I mean, the ninja can swing it. It's technically an endgame weapon, but at -1, you're sort of looking for something better, aren't you, Duchess?
You're looking for something better, but I mean, for you to start off the game in the first 7 minutes, that's great. I don't care if it rolled -1 because I don't plan on keeping that, you know? Now, if we come into the game, it's, 45 minutes in, and I'm still searching for a katana, then we're just going to have to go with Fast and Temper strats, right? You got a Viz too. So you can make the Sun -1 work. I've seen it done with an Ice Sword. Mind you, that was a fighter, but still, as we get a Ribbo too from the Ferret.
Yeah, so, and that's a good point. I mean, anything can really be turned into an endgame weapon with enough temper stacks. But yeah, Sun Sword will work. The Ribbon is certainly, you love to see that, because defense is going to be the problem for this party. And to have that really gives you a lot of safety.
Ooh, Opal +4.
That's some more safety. Wow.
Now, Dwight looks like he's going for the Volcano play. Armory, I presume.
Yeah, and that's a smart move. I think he wanted, it looks like he's looking for grinds as well. That could be a smart play, but these worms are a little bit more than he can handle right now.
They might be given the HP, but goodness gracious, I mean, worms are fantastic. If you can just get through 1 round of worms, and they're on the force tile, so that's just, I'm doing that for days.
Yeah, we definitely found the grind, but it might not be the time to do it as Dwight takes off.
Absolutely not.
He's looking for an easier one at Earthgate, maybe. Now, I noticed he's got a bugle, which is the loot, but I didn't see where that got picked up.
I didn't see where it got picked up either, to be honest.
Maybe it was free. I don't think that that we saw that pickup.
Well, looks like we're going to have some high-fiving.
Yep, both of the runners having the same idea, looking for a entry-level grind that will get them up to, the mid-10s at least, just so that they have the capability of taking on the more difficult fights like those worms.
I like where Dwight's thinking. Where Burt is more just I'm gonna obliterate everything with the nuke. Dwight's like, let me be economical. Let me use Rub. There was 2 minutes where we thought Rub was gonna be our AO, our magic use of choice for a while, right? Those whole 2 minutes before we popped into Provoker.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that is an economics thing or if you just accidentally grabbed it. You do. You often don't think about using something like that. But maybe it is a matter of just conserving resources and thinking about, okay, how many fights am I going to be able to get through before I have to jump back out and pop a house?
Now, good thing is houses were very cheap. They were like 302 gold. So we know they've already got a good stack of houses. And Dwight's already at level 16. That's what you want to see. Because now go ahead, take on a few more, and then even if you don't leave out at level 20, you can definitely take on those worms, which will get you to where you want to be. You can stay there to level 28, 32, whatever you need to do. And then, boom, before 20 minutes is in the game, you're already at a level where you can just body most things until you get the token.
Yeah, and a reminder, all we need to do is light Ords and go straight to Topher tonight, because as Shadowed Flames points out tonight, loot is free. I didn't realize this, but whenever a short Topher is enabled, I guess you must be getting that just as part of the functionality of that flag. So it's kind of the sort of situation where you don't need it because the loot plate is not there with a short Topher. You just go to the orbs and then bam, you're on the last floor.
Well, there you go.
So Dwight's going to pick up his adamant, it looks like.
Yep. And he might go grab a pro ring.
Yeah, those were for sale in Elfin. They were almost 20,000 though, so might need a little bit more cash.
Touche.
After he takes out some of those worms, he'll have all the money in the world.
Now, for y'all that's new to the community, just want to point out some of the very little things. QOE, quality of quality of life. Just going into the menu and buying something, right? Back in the day, you had to just buy. And then, of course, there was the introduction of buy 10. And this, of course, was great. But now you can actually change it to the concise number you want. 62? Y'all have no idea how much that just brings joy to the OG's hearts.
Oh yeah, I can definitely remember sitting there playing the vanilla game and just pounding away at that A button and listening to that terrible music for way too long. The stuff like that really makes the game playable.
Oh my goodness.
This day and
It's
age.
like just the double walking speed alone. I can't even watch a speed run of OG FF1 because it's like, what? Y'all are static, basically.
Yep. So Dwight just took down a bunch of worms. Let's see. Oh, I just missed the experience count, but you knew it was massive, and he's already up past level 20.
Yeah, it was 12,600 some change. And it looks like they're just north of 300 HP, maybe 350. So if you get a good nuke roll, then you can get them for sure. But 2 nukes will take them out.
That's the dream. A grind this close to the entrance of a dungeon. It's big sprites, so you can do it with a black belt if you have one, and they're just worth boatloads of experience.
That's what it is. Get that exit, go house up real quick, do it again. And BurtReynoldz is going to be very, 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 very happy to see these worms as well.
Oh! But he's bypassing, going to Agama instead. Wow. That's a good percentage play, I guess, because the Agama grind is technically better Well, no, you can do them both for free because the one that Dwight's at, you're stepping between a trap tile and a free tile.
That's it. It's just, I understand the reasoning why Burt is going there, but my logic is, one, I'm not going to pass Armory no matter what, even if it means I'm going to lose a minute and a half, 2 minutes. But because of that nature, I'm also going to always check this tile because I know worms can be here, right?
Yeah, well, and here's the thing, though. Maybe it's metagame. I mean, once you've got runners that are really good, they're in the Irongol, they're knowing that they need an edge somewhere. Sometimes you just feel like you got to roll the dice and do something a little bit unpredictable and hope that you find the worms in the spot that the other guy didn't check. So we could be looking at something like that from Burt, because it's not like BurtReynoldz doesn't know about that tile.
That's a good point. Got to risk it to get the biscuit, as they say.
No doubt. And he does actually have a pretty decent one here with this Gurnaga water tile.
I just hate waters. I never feel comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, and when they don't have when they have stone touch, it's a little bit scary, but it did mean that he just got like 40,000 experience on his Black Wizard.
Well, there you go. Wow, even Dwight's an OG. He's like, what do I need to check Armory for? Even if it's holding the Masamune. I mean, excuse me, even if it's holding the Almighty Masa, like, but to each their own.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, with these levels and these spells, you don't need a lot of gear. Chat correcting me, thank you for that, pointing out that the waters had Brack instead of Stone Touch. So that's a little better, I think, to see Brack and Stone Touch. But it's still, a high percentage stone spell before you have ribbons on everybody. And with this flag set, I don't think we're going to be seeing ribbons on everybody. We might not even see one.
Yeah, I mean, we've already seen one, thankfully, because of the elf turning, right? But besides that,
that's right.
I feel exactly what you mean. This is one of those seeds where, because it is Irongol, I'm kind of thinking too traditional in terms of, I'm going to Armory, and I'm still going to do it because, I mean, you might catch another ribbon, anything, right? But they know that time is of the essence in this type of showdown, because ideally you can get the seed done in 27 minutes, right?
Yeah. And actually, the way this is going, let's see, it's 16:32. Dwight is basically in go mode.
Really?
I mean, what equipment stops you is, like, maybe Dwight's thinking, well, there's some chests that are close together in Sky. So maybe that's where you get 6 chests all checked in a row, 4 chests all checked in a row, instead of going to Armory. That could be what Dwight is thinking.
And
How about this simultaneous carry fight?
I know. Do we have the Oxio yet?
I believe we do not. I'm going to check our notes and see if that's been.
We've got to get the Oxio.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
But I mean, in saying that, though, I'm going straight to Sky. It's already right there for the taking. If I don't have to do ice, I'm not going to do ice. Does that make sense? So I'm going
definitely.
to Sky. There's already incentivized chests in Sky, so who's to say that's not the Oxio anyway?
Yeah, that's just it. You know that there's an orb there, and it's incentivized, so go ahead and do it. The other option could be Earth Cave, but I don't believe we've seen the rod either. Yeah. So I was mistaken when I said we were in go mode before. We are definitely not, because those 2 items are stopping us from getting orbs.
Ooh, gold -5s. That's like, I'm not going to look at that. If they were gold -1s, definitely, but gold -5s, it's like, yeah, nah, never mind. Especially when you got open +4s.
Yep. Now, shadowed way ahead of us as usual, pointing out that Matoya had Oxy, and I take it that means that Burt has it. It is lit up, so that's what Burt can go to see if he needs to.
Dwight picking up Saber, touche. I understand the reasoning. You don't have a knight, so anything, when you start getting into a short Topher can be pretty damaging. So if you can use Sabers over Tempers in the beginning, why not, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a small difference, but every little bit helps.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because otherwise I wouldn't have bought saber, but I understand the reasoning why you do.
Dwight going for a slab turn in. This, of course, could be... he's still looking for Oxy Ale, but it could also be the rod.
That is true. A little eager there.
Now, if we see something like a ruby, then it's just going to mean more checks. Instead, it's the katana -2. -2 is unfortunate, but it is still the katana, so that's a nice find.
Yeah, -2 isn't great because you're taking away from my crits and my hit, but it is what it is. It's still going to be good. Better than the sun -1.
Yep. And it's just style points, right? When you're swinging the katana, you gotta do that.
Get some stake in our lives. Unrunnable at that. And there you go. Level 30 on Dwight's side. But Burt is at level 25, so it's not like he's behind or anything.
Yeah, they both have all the levels. At this point, it's just pretty much just progression and execution and equipment a little bit. There's some things that they could definitely use.
It's one of those things is, do you take a gamble and just be like, Topher's not going to be that serious? Or do you just do the quick things? I presume quick things being like armory, greater than, less than, but it looks like they want to power through.
Yeah, well, you might as well try, especially with the short Topher. And the scaling on bosses, scaling on everything, is 50 to 200%, which means that they could roll down. Now, if they do roll way up, then, that's just the way it is, and maybe you got to go find something. But if it's a speed run, sometimes you just try and go for that Hail Mary.
Touche. As we get the ruby. Another check mark.
Yeah, Dwight finding that ruby in the sky. That could lead to Rod at the Titan's Trove.
Mm-hmm.
Nice juicy steak on the right-hand side of the BurtReynoldz screen. He's gone with the fun percent flag that turns the Tyrell into a steak.
Will we get our friend Robot Chicken?
Yeah, it looks like we may not. Dwight is almost all the way through here. Too bad. No. Yeah, that's actually a good find. They do have one ribbon, but it's helpful to have wall if you don't find another. And at level 7, it's okay that it's high level because you don't end up using it a lot.
That's it. It's situational.
So BurtReynoldz is about to pick up his ribbon. And Dwight continues fighting Tiamat. It looked like Tiamat had a fair bit of absorb there, so we're seeing some temper shots go out on that ninja. Finally doing some decent damage.
Got some fog 2 in our lives.
Oh, the poor man's in Vis 2.
You gotta take a hit, tank it. 10 hits, 941, clap, clap, clap. And the joy of synchronous level up.
Yep, Dwight's headed out now. So, 2 orbs lit. Does not have the Oxy Ale or the Rod. So Dwight's going to have to do some item hunting. He's holding on to that ruby. My guess is that he checks that next.
Yep. Are there any loose?
Let's check. So, in this flag set, there are 18 locations and 18 items, no loose. Oh, the troll canoe.
Wah, wah, wah.
You know what, though? You actually need that to get to see. And that's something that I forget a lot. I'll go up
That's
there
a
and be
good
like, oh, I can just go. But then there's that river in the way.
That's a good point. You do need that little canoe. So Dwight's gonna truck it and see if the rod is in here.
Yeah. Now, this is what I was talking about before. BurtReynoldz is checking this very chest dense floor of Sky. A lot of people like this floor because there's 6 on the right, 4 up above, and 4 to the left. That's a lot of chests.
And it's, I mean, you got a lit +1 bonk already, so.
Yeah.
Ooh, ice armor, that can't be used.
Yeah. Does Bird already have flame armor? Oh, there's Warmack. He's wandering around in the maze.
I didn't peep Warmack.
Yeah, he was there. He's patrolling in the maze in Sky.
Poison jingle in our lives, as per BurtReynoldz. So for those of y'all who are fans of the poison, there you go. I myself am Team Poison. Oh, Team Poison, it just went off. Oh.
I was gonna say, what if you're a fan of the band Poison?
Definitely not a fan of the band Poison. In fact, I'm in favor of having an Irongol match called Poison Percent, where basically you don't be poisoned, but the jingle, no matter what, it just stays the entire time.
Oh, that sounds awful.
That's Irongol. That would definitely be a qualifying Irongol match. Like, yeah, we have to listen to Poison jingle for an hour. All right.
I mean, this is Randomizer. It's not cruel and unusual punishment, Duchess.
Only the brave will sign up, mate. It's like the special forces, only the few serve. Shout outs to all those who serve, by the way. Got some Ochos on the screen. As we see, BurtReynoldz has sporadic leveling, 34, 28, something else. But an orb is lit.
Yes. Dwight getting lucky with the procedurally generated waterfall, giving him the entrance right there off the jump. That's always a nice change of pace from a huge maze that you have to navigate.
Absolutely. There goes the
And there's our Earth axis.
The illustrious. Ooh, wall plus expert +5. Okay, so. Oh, that had everything there. Wow. I like that. Expert +5. And then you've got the wall staff. Way to go.
Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to wear that expert +5. That would have been the best use of it. But this flag set does not have a tail. So we will not be seeing a promotion. And those white mages and black mages are going to stay the way they are.
Which isn't good. But you know what I mean? Like, still. You can still use that wall staff, though, as wall. So that's always groovy.
Yeah, that is a huge pickup. I mean, you can give that to anybody. It doesn't have to be the white mage. So exactly. You're going to get white walls up on everybody who needs them. With the white mage casting it, you've got one ribbon already. Your defense all of a sudden is looking real nice.
Exactly. Now all of a sudden, just throw that ribbon on the white mage to make sure everyone stays alive, and then wall up whoever needs to be walled up, and you're good to go. Dwight's gonna get this earth orb. Mummies use lit because they are lit. Getting some bats out of the way. Cure 4 in our lives. Don't go home without it, people.
Yeah, so Sunflash Rune in chat asking if this is a GDQ, and it's not. This is Final Fantasy Randomizer, and what we're watching specifically tonight, it's an Irongol heavy metal match between the unranked Dwight and number 2 ranked BurtReynoldz. So the way Irongol works, it's just for fun. Basically, it's a challenge belt, if you will. So the champ wears the belt, and everyone else challenges their way up to try and get it. The flag sets that we run are usually, with Irongol, they tend to be weird. They don't have to be. There's no rule that they are. But they're often, you see strange things, shenanigans going on. Like in this case, we've got a thief and a ninja at the same time in the party composition. So just a little bit of fun. And these are two very highly respected runners within our community that often post really great times. So you're seeing them come through this seed. Basically, you're getting a clinic on how to run Final Fantasy Randomizer.
Absolutely. So take your notes, people. Dwight just bodied Lich. As Burt looks at these stressed out trolls. And finds another Ribbo too for their troubles. Yeehaw. The dragon armor would be nice, but we can't use it.
Yeah, I was getting excited for a second there, looking at that dragon armor, and I think they found something else really nice for the knight earlier too. So it's just, it hurts. It hurts a little bit.
It hurts a little bit. But you can have bomb, magic, etc., and have a knight as well, right? That's just unfair. Masa was probably sitting in the armory, to be honest. They both just breezed through it. So.
Yeah, so Dwight is in the airship and flying right to where he needs to go. This is where he's going to pick up Oxyale, and then he'll have access to C to light his 4th orb.
I wonder what he's going to do. Is he going to put on the Sun Sword or not? Nah, he's not. You don't waste a menu that high. You don't waste a menu, when you're this high up in the game.
Yeah. I'm just noticing, according to the screen, it says Dwight's the champ and Bert's at number 2. I've been saying that Dwight's unranked. My mistake. I looked at the rankings ahead of time and I didn't realize that the champ was listed already.
As Birdman once said on The Breakfast Club, put some respect on my name.
Hey, look, when you're the best, you don't need the recognition.
Nah, that's it. Because as you can see, Dwight's about to get that 4th orb lit.
Yes, Sunflash Rune, that's correct. We do have double Sun Swords. So, Sun Swords for Sunflash. The only problem with the Sun Swords is that they are rolled down. They're at -1. So they're not the best sword you hope to find. But it still works in a pinch. So, who do you think's going to light their 4th orb first? Duchess?
I'm going to go with Dwight. Because Bert's still got to take out the vampire, etc., He's not too far. He's like, 2 floors away from Kraken?
That's true. However, Kraken is Kraken, and Speed Bump is Speed Bump.
That's a good point, actually. And they both are going for the 4th orb, so.
I think you're right, based on how far away Bird is from Lich. You can't take that long to take down the Kraken.
Feels so good when your ninja's just blasting level 2 nuke. It's like, what? Yeah. Literally, this is like, huh? You didn't die the first time? Nuke. Just walking the Tofu with 18 nukes in your party, like, what's good? However, I must say, what?
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, because we've seen the nuke extravaganza, just the And clap, clap, clap. Looks like Dwight's got all 4 orbs lit at 3348. Because we've seen the magic extravaganza this seed, I surmise we'll see a bunch of Gruul next seed, but we might get a Knight. I don't know what we're going to see next seed. I'm just putting my little psychic sensors on. And BurtReynoldz finishes at 3402 in terms of all 4 orbs lit.
Yeah, so we did briefly see them both in the Fiend fight at the same time, but Dwight was finishing up as Burt was getting started. Burt, though, closer to Topher, so look at that. He may be the first to enter. Oh, not quite. Oh, yeah, he is, because Dwight menued before the screen transition. Wow, this is close. Okay, so we're seeing the 3 fights now, and they're simultaneous. Execution is going to be important here because the time difference is pretty much negligible between these 2 runners. Burt, you still with us? Or sorry, Duchess, are you still with us? Looks like either Duchess is not or I am not.
Oh, can you hear me?
Oh, yes, I can hear you now.
Sorry about that. I had mute on by mistake.
No worries.
Yeah, but looks like menuing definitely took a place there because while Dwight had the faster menu motions, Burt had less menuing to do. So Dwight is paying the price right now. Burt's going ahead again. Kraken, you want to call this one?
Okay, so we are seeing some use of that wall staff as the thief drops it. The ninja is fasting himself. Oh, I'm sorry, they must have been a temper. Oh, but the thief goes down before the wall goes off. So we do have fast and temper now cast on the ninja, and the white mage is going to throw up some more invis, and we're going to go to temper. We've got our setup, but Kraken is hitting hard. Burt needs to avoid another hit to that ninja because if he takes it, he's lost his main damage dealer. Temper's going out, though. He's committed to this strategy. He's going to go with some Cure 4 strats and hope he gets turn order. He does not! Kraken drops a nuke, and we may be looking at a rip for BurtReynoldz as Dwight enters the fight. BurtReynoldz is switching over to Fade and Nuke strats, but this Kraken's got it all. Just layering on the AoE, and Burt squeaks through with his Lifecaster still alive, snatching victory from the jaws of defeat. So the Life 2 is dropped, and Burt keeps going.
That was just woo. I thought he was gonna get bodied. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, me too. I wrote him off, but he showed us why he's number 2 ranked. So Tiamat's here, and I think you're up, Duchess.
So we got some nuke going on in our lives. A bit of Cure 3. It looks like fast. We gotta respect this dude. No Rodney Dangerfield. Stun equals a free turn. Invis 2 in our lives. Don't go home without it, people. Easy to dodge. Up wall 2. Give me some temper. I need that strength, aka eating my Wheaties. Cure 3 is going off. Another temper is going off. So we're going to put up some more respect. Again, no Rodney Dangerfield in our lives as Dwight's hanging on by a thread. Swing from the ninja. We've got ourselves some 2 hits, 99. We got some absorb. Might need some lock 2 in our lives. I would say don't leave home without that, people. We're going to put out a fade. We're going to put out a temper. We've got a heal pot, illustrious 30 HP, fade, the string of purple. Ooh, another swing, 4 hits, 413, clap, clap, clap. And BurtReynoldz took care of that and also managed his economy well.
Okay, Dwight took a reset, this time checking the chest, getting the ribbon, making sure that he sets up his defense as Burt heads towards the big man.
Ooh, Carrie and Tiamat. Alternate chaos, y'all. We're fasting. We're nuking. Or maybe that was temper. 6 hits. Oh, joy. And looks like your body. Now we still have access to temper and I believe fast, so we'll be good to go. In so long as nobody else gets bodied. Invis 2. Temper. Stun. Free turn. You better swing. Ooh, heal pot's going out. Temper in our lives once again. Invis 2. Definitely trying to make sure we don't get hit. Throw out that heal pot. The illustrious 30. 2 hits for some damage. Zap. Ineffective because we are ribbon holders. And lit 2, a free turn. Cure 3, the economical cure 4. Heal pot extravaganza. 2 hits 99, not too shabby. GG, BurtReynoldz takes the cake home at 39 minutes and some change. It looked like 18, but whenever you actually do the GG thing up.
Okay, so that's round 1 of 3, and BurtReynoldz takes it. We're going to set right back up for a race number 2 of 3 to see if Burt can get the 2 or if we're going to go to a number 3. Just letting our racers know where they can find the race time room.
Dwight has the garland graphic of shame under him.
Yes, he does. So Burt is in our next room, and we're just rolling the flags. Just waiting for Dwight to join, and we'll be able to drop the gate. So what type of a party comp are you predicting for the next one, since it's going to be 4 forced? Duchess, get your guesses in now. And in chat, let's see, what do you think the next party composition is going to be? And remember, it can be a mix of promoted and unpromoted characters.
Knight, black belt, red wizard, and white wizard.
Okay, Knight, black belt, red wizard, and white wizard. I'd run that composition.
I would too. Will we be as gracious on magic is the question.
It's pretty hard to imagine that it would be as good as what we just saw. And we've got both racers ready to go. We've just got a technical difficulty with the flags that will be resolved very shortly now.
No worries.
Okay, and Danny, 3883, being a rock star and stepping us up and helping us solve the difficulty with the flags. That last run was a rock solid seed, but this next one's going to be a Danny seed. So she's going to go and roll it manually, and that way we'll have it so we can get the racer started.
Well, our racers are going to have fun. It's a Danny seed. So Life 2, Cure 4. That's at level 8.
Oh, I'm sorry. It is gonna be B that's gonna do it. Okay, so let's see here. Randomizer. Here's our flags. There we go. That was easy. So seed is rolled. And I've got the gate ready to drop whenever our runners are ready to go. They'll need a second to get configured with the new flag set.
No worries.
So let's see what chat is saying for party compositions. We've got Classic Gamer 76 going with Thief, White Mage, White Mage. Now, I've been seeing Spell Zap and Crab Cakes running that composition, not as a joke, so it can work.
I'm not doing that.
Runners just confirming the hash with each other and the party composition. Make sure we're running the same seed. That's pretty important.
Gotta check the hash. And there you go. We got
Dwight
Knight, we got
has...
Ninja, we got Knight, Fighter, Black Wizard, and Ninja. No white magic, yeehaw. Except, well, we do got white magic. Better hope it rolls well in the first 3-4 levels. Otherwise, you can forget it.
Yeah, of course, that night magic could end up being a lifesaver, no pun intended, if those good spells are down low. Or you could be looking at a situation where neither runner has it. At least you know that it's the same situation that your opponent's in.
Mm.
Okay, so we have the restream ready. We have both racers ready. We're about to drop this gate and get ready with the second round. Are you ready, Duchess?
I am ready.
Okay, we drop in the gate. 15 seconds. Countdown begins. And we're going to get to see what this magic is. I hope our tracker's ready too. Tracker Shattered Flames, very diligent. Likes to prep before the seed with the magic listed. But we'll have to pick it up on the fly. And so let's shout it out as we see it, Duchess, and make sure that we call out any important spells we see.
Absolutely. As we're going in right now, let's look at the black magic first. It's going to be Bane, Fire 3, Slow 2, and Stop. And we've got ourselves some Cure 4 level 1. Congratulations.
So we just talked about it.
That's all you need. I mean, Life or Life 2 would be a luxury, but all you really need is Cure 4, to be honest. If you have Life 2 or Cure 4, you're satisfied. So I don't care about anything else. I can make it work.
Yeah, exactly. And we still have a few more levels to check, so we could still get that life.
Houses are 1247, not that expensive again.
Yeah, because spoiled by the randomizer. To me, 12 over 1,000 looks expensive now, but of course, in the vanilla game, I think they were 3,000. So, yeah, it's still pretty cheap.
Mm-hmm. In the beginning, I mean, it's 1,200. It's not the same as 309 in the last seed, right? But it's very attainable. Within 12 minutes of playing the game, you'll have more than enough money to get houses.
Okay, so BurtReynoldz taking down Garland. Pretty melee heavy party that we've got here. 2 all melee characters, and then the ninja from the last seed is here as well. But it's pretty good because you do have a lot of black magic. The ninja can cast a lot, and the black mage can cast a lot as well.
Mm-hmm.
Was that a black mage or a black wizard?
Black wizard.
Oh, even better.
And we've got the cube and the crystal, so no reason to not go up to Matoya real quick. And I have no idea why you would walk. There you go, Burt. He's in the mindset of OG. Like, oh, I don't have an airship. Like, oh yeah, I do have an airship. Heal pot.
Yeah. Yeah, Heal Pot's kind of vanilla in Matoya, but look at that, the canoe from the witch. So that's nice. It took us a while to find that canoe in the last seed, but now we've got it right off the jump. So those few little checks won't be blocked from us now. Waterfall and sea.
Yep.
And Ordeals.
Let's go blast Vicky to pieces with Fire 3.
Yeah, this poor crew of pirates, they it's pretty hard times for them in the randomizer. Usually they're getting wiped out by some pretty dangerous area of effect spells.
Absolutely. Your lives of yo-ho-ho and a bottle of rum are over, mate.
Yeah, and this is even randomized. We got a rod at Sarda.
There you go. As looks like the pirates were exporting explosives because they got some TNT, so got that off their hands. We are the good guys already. Warriors of Light, Warriors of Lighting.
Yeah, funny story. That's actually a translation change from the Japanese version to the English version. They were terrorists in the original Japanese.
I don't mean to laugh, but I do mean to laugh because it was funny to me.
Hey, it's 2021. We got to do something to lighten up the mood.
That's what I'm saying. Let's see what a match reporter said. It was a key.
Yeah, it was a key at the Circle of Sages. Okay, great.
Lock 2 in our lives. That's great to see. And the almighty lamp. I'll take that. Heal 2 is good for a sprinkle of health here or there.
Yeah, no doubt. I'll take it. We did see our vendor Slab at Crescent Lake.
Good eyeballs. I did not catch that.
I'm sure that our tracker did, but I gotta call it out all the same. Shadowed is amazing. I've seen him do 4 players at the same time, and I do some tracking myself, but I find 4 screens is just too much.
Me too. Ooh, Dwight picking up fear. Are we gonna get some expert in our lives? So what we're gonna see is basically the same steps as the beginning of the last seed. Go get the free items real quick. At least get yourselves, some logic, because that's what's key in this type of seed. It's quick. You got to get the orbs, but still you don't have everything to get all the orbs. So piece the logic as best you can with all those outstanding items that you can get just through transportation, and then make moves.
Yeah. Now, if I'm Burt, I'm thinking about doing Earth right about now. Seems like Burt might be doing the same, although he could just be here to check the grind.
Mm-hmm. I'm always a fan of going to Elfland real quick too, just to see what's at level 3 and level 4.
Yeah, that's a good point, especially with our limited access to white magic. That could be a pretty key check.
See, look at the difference. I mean, mind you, this was definitely, he was going for the tile regardless, but they're checking test. This is not the same seed that we saw last time. Magic is okay at best. You do have a sweeper. You got, Fire 3, so that's going to carry you for quite a while. But you got to find items, especially with the party composition. You're not going to be able to maximize a knight, a fighter, if you don't have good swords, good armor, etc., etc.
Yeah, good point. We're very gear dependent, so we might see that early volcano check that they both passed on last time. Notable though, Burt has found a great grind. He's got the 2 mages and 1 fighter tile here, which gave him almost 5,000 experience in it in one go. We did. Oh, Duchess, you're back, are you? I think Duchess is encountering some technical difficulties, but he'll be right back with us.
I am right back with y'all. The old Discord discorded me.
It discorded you, yeah. Dwight just picked up a Mazza. Don't know if you caught that, but that's Narek was holding on to the Mazmune.
Well, there you go. Looks like you're good to go. Freedom. Oh, took care of the parade dwarf, but it is what it is. Look, we got a Mazza and we've got Cure 4. There are very few things in life that make you happier than having Mazza and Cure 4 7 minutes into the game.
Yeah, so Dwight is looking for his trap tile and checking a place that I really like to go, which is the closet back of Astos.
Mm-hmm. Ribbo -5. It's not great that it's minus, but it's still a ribbon, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It really doesn't matter in terms of its absorb. It's all that protections that you get in terms of elemental protections and many of the status attacks as well.
You just want the ribbon for ribboning. And yes, people, I did say ribboning. Dwight's going to eventually make their way to Earth Cave. I mean, you've got the rod, so there's no reason you wouldn't. And so, because the thing about Dwight is they're actually going to be they might be in a slightly better position with the Masa to just go and body those mages.
Yeah, the question is Dwight going to grind these mummies? I feel like they're not the best of grinds, but sometimes it's good enough to get you at least to the mid-teens, and it looks like that might be what he's doing.
Yeah, you've got Fire 3 as well, so just go ham and get him at least to 13, and then I would leave.
Okay, Burt finding Brack and Nuke at Melmond. Nuke was in the warp slot, so... Oh, but it doesn't matter because he's got a black wizard.
Mm-hmm. Did Dwight just get bodied? Oh, no, come on, Dwight, don't go back.
Yeah, Dwight is just shedding time right now. Of course, he doesn't know it, but having the ribbon is the silver lining here. I think that's what he's gone back for, yeah. Yeah,
and that dragon +5. Because, I mean, since it's a +5, that's like a, Sun Sword equivalent, maybe, at that point?
Yeah, and look at this. He's gone straight to Earth, so he was reading your mind earlier and doing exactly what he needs to do. He's going to check these 3 trap tiles, find the good one, and go to work with a ribbon in hand.
Yep.
Fast and Temper sharing a level at level 4.
You don't necessarily like to see it, but, I mean, your ninja can get one of them. You know what I mean? So,
yeah,
that makes it work.
It does, and it's fine. You normally get a fair number of charges at level 4. You don't need a lot of them for fast. So just having them is probably nice. The fact that okay, I've got them both. I don't have to worry about that anymore.
That's pretty much it. And because your ninja can also take on temper, they can temper themselves. So.
Yeah, so BurtReynoldz picking up pro rings in Elfland as well. They're for sale there for 20K.
And Dwight's having a little bit of trouble. 1 HP. Ouch.
That's going to be a lot of experience if his ninja survives. Oh, no. So close.
Don't worry, Dwight. But I know that thinking as well, staring at the menu screen.
Oh, me too, Duchess. I mean, how many times do you go in there and you think, I've got this great grind, but I'm level 6. I can't can't take it. I've got to go somewhere else to get my levels. It's so hard.
It hurts so bad when you just stare at the screen. It's like pulling out a TI-83 to do sine, cosine equations. It's like, but you got to do it. As Burt finds more mages and fighters. Yeehaw. What? 110 HP? Wow. Look at that. 5,866 HP. Ice armor. Yeah, I'm definitely going to do that again. I honestly would grind this until I've got 3 charges of nuke. Bane +5 gauntlet.
Yep, and chat showing you some love for that Texas Instruments reference there, Duchess.
We all know the joy / the pain.
So Dwight going to work on some guards and sentries. This is also a pretty good XP fight, but the sentries hit awfully hard. Fortunately for Dwight, he's got the sentry down, so this should be pretty good experience right here.
See, where Dwight's losing out is, in theory, yes, it's a great grind. It's 5, 6, 8, 8 for the two of them. All right, he's bouncing. But Burt's just getting expediency, because in the time it takes Dwight to have done that one grind, he can do 3.
Yes, and Burt has his Black Mage stoned at the moment. I wonder if he wants to get more levels on his other light warriors, or if he doesn't have any soft.
Honestly, I would do what Burt's doing, because the other 3 are swinging, right? And you don't need much out of the Black Mage at this point. You know where your fast is, right? So you know where fast is, you know where temper is, and you know it's going to be short. So I'd get to the point where I do just that. Get all of my characters up to where at least even the first 2 fiends in terms of Topher, I might can pull through without even using fast. So, and at some point we'll bring the Black Mage back up, so it's like level 20 or something.
Yeah, I think Burt's level situation is pretty good. I don't think that he'll stay with the 3-mana all the way through. But it doesn't hurt to have the melees a little bit beefier.
Done.
So we saw Zap at level 3 Black Magic, and I didn't notice if there was anything noteworthy at level 4.
I did not see as well.
Although the tracker has... Oh, that's from Temper, Dark, Fast, and Saber. Oh, yes, we knew that already. So Temper, Dark, and Fast, and Saber at level 4 Black Magic. That was the big news in level 4. And we can't cast anything from level 4 White Magic, so it doesn't matter.
Nope. Burt grabbing that masa.
Shadow Flame saying in chat that he used to program math shortcuts in an old TI-82. Why am I not surprised that Shadow Flame did that? I'm just wondering. Why is that not surprising to me?
It does not surprise me at all. I would have no idea about any of that type of stuff. I just played games, when Grand Theft Auto was hot, there was like the drop-down menu version of Grand Theft Auto on the TI-83. Always lost.
Look at this, a Quad X helmet. That's potentially useful, kind of limited once you're at higher levels, but Dwight still might be low enough that it comes in handy here or there.
I just feel so bad for Dwight right now, because we know with our bird's eye view that he's missed out right now on all the bomb grind tiles. Burt right now has the advantage of they can do walk and grind and then just do one more grind later if they need to, right? Because they can just walk through whatever they need to walk to, pick up some levels. Oh, here goes 4 centipedes in theory, etc., etc. So where Dwight still needs to put in a minute, 2 minutes of grinding.
Yeah, Burt definitely ahead, but we're not going to count the champ out just yet. You never know what Topher holds. Burt, of course, stocking up on pro rings in Elfland now that he's got the money.
Mm-hmm. So 16 minutes in, it's definitely a different seed. We've got Cure 4 to our advantage. What else do we have that's very important?
Well, we've got Fast and Temper.
Yeah, we've got Temper and Fast. So theoretically, we can go through Topher. So we're not scared of Topher per se. You want life, it is what it is.
Yeah, sorry to jump in on you, but you're absolutely right, because we've got those two ribbons. We've got the Mazimune. There's some mid-game armor that they've got on some of their characters. It's enough to get the job done.
Mm. Now, what's interesting is that the knight can only use, I believe, thief swords. I think that was like their malice. It could have been the fighter, but because you got that Masa, it doesn't matter anyway. Because anybody can swing the Masa.
Yeah. So Shadow Flame's thinking that it might have been the fighter. We'll figure it out once they do their equipping. I think after the Mazmune, the best sword that we've seen might have been that Sun -2 that we just saw in Volcano.
Mm. There's an ice sword, but
did it roll up?
It was neutral, so I don't know if ice neutral is better than Sun -2.
Thinking no.
Dwight, just go to that one chest over there, mate. You go, your whole life will just be like, and Burr picks up the bottle. Got some Irongol as well as a big eye that just got obliterated.
Yep. So the big eyes, of course, colloquially known as the experienced pinatas. Definitely a good grind with some Gersharks. That'll work for Dwight.
Mm-hmm. And we see a carry.
Yeah, so Burt going for the second orb now, as Dwight does his leveling up. Dwight is, of course, pretty close to the Earth boss, so I think after this grind, Dwight is going to go ahead and catch up on his first orb, but by then Burt will have 2. So we can say that Burt's about a full orb ahead, maybe a little more, plus the extra grind time.
Doesn't mean by any means at all, though, that Dwight's out of it.
No, definitely not. There's, as we were saying before, there's still Topher. It can always throw curveballs at anybody. And from the standpoint of progression, it looks like they're pretty much the same. Burt has a few extra items there. So, yeah Topher, unless there's some decision that they make later on that sends one of them through a daisy chain of turn-ins that is not necessary, then the progression shouldn't make a big difference to them.
Ooh, gold rolled down to -5.
Yeah, that's not the best defensive option for our poor Black Wizard. Of course, being a Black Wizard, if we do happen across the black shirt, that'll probably be the way to go.
Mm-hmm. Katana was +5, though. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Masa and Katana +5? What? Okay, never mind. So I'm sorry, but it looks like it's going to be a bunch of disrespect when it comes to the bosses. Sometimes the way the game is just how you have to play it. And so look, you can't be thinking about no Invis 2s. We ain't got none of that. I don't see no white shirt anywhere. I'm sorry, I didn't see any of that. All I've got is Cure. we can nuke. Hey, that's great. We can brack, but looks like I'm just gonna be smacking people today.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. Shadow Flames checking in with the stats from earlier. We were wondering if Ice Neutral was better than Sun -2. According to what Shadowed has, the Ice Neutral would be better than the Sun -2. But as J-Man1865 points out, we don't need to make that decision. All we got to decide is Katana +5 better than them? And yeah.
Is Katana
Just
5 Katana 5? Yes, Katana 5 is Katana 5. Oh, okay. Equip. Yeah, I feel pretty sweet now. I've got an Ice Sword. I've got a Katana 5. I've got a Masa. I'm sweet. Now, I apologize. I've actually got to pick up a package, so I need about 3 minutes, and I'll be back.
No worries. Just give a shout when you're back.
Thanks.
So Dwight picks up an Adamant in Lufane. This is, unfortunately, potentially, the daisy chain that we were talking about earlier. Now, this Adamant could still lead to a crucial progression item like Oxyale. We haven't seen that yet. Same with Chime, still on the table. So there's a good percentage chance that this is going to give us something we need. What we don't want to see is something like the Adamant leads to the herb, and then the herb leads you to the crystal, and then the crystal gives you the crown, and then you end up at the end of the chain with something you didn't really need since the beginning. The bottle, we don't know what that turns into yet. So we see that it's the Chime. And chat pointing out that Burt already has that. So we both, basically, Dwight is caught up to Burt in terms of entry items. Neither one of them have the Oxyale yet. Both of them wondering where it is. Dwight is headed up, it seems, to do the sky check, and I like this. It'll give Dwight lots of boxes, and that could be the Oxyale up there.
Meanwhile, it looks like BurtReynoldz has found a T-Rex grind off the power cycle there near Mirage, so this might be a good chance for him to get some extra levels before going up.
Good point, and welcome to our tracker, Shadowed Flames, who has jumped in on the microphone to cover for Duchess, doing double duty, tracking and commentating at the same time.
Well, gotta have some way to help entertain the fans out there tonight. I mean, it's a Sunday night. Let's have some fun with it.
Yep, and now Dwight is making quick work of Sky. Burt is mowing down on that blue stake, probably going to follow up into Sky shortly.
Yep, and right as soon as you say it, here he goes. So let's see what Dwight finds in the incentive chest here. And we find an herb. So looking at the list of things that we still have to find, I'm thinking this leads to the crown, and that leads to probably the opal, but that's just a guess at this point.
Yeah, and so that's the sort of thing where even though the opal isn't strictly necessary for anything, I might be happy to see it because I do have that black wizard, and we did have those pretty weak gold bracelets. That's decent armor.
Yeah, and at this point, any bit of armor is going to be a help when you have gold that's barely silver quality.
Yep. So, yeah, silver +4, not necessarily the best. So Dwight is taking his Tiamat fight now as Burt is making his way up Sky right behind him.
Yep, looks like Dwight's trying to employ the Bracken the Tiamat strategy. No luck as of yet, but I don't blame him for keep going. This is probably the easiest strategy.
Yeah, about a 26% chance for Brack to drop on Tiamat. With one caster, it's not your first choice, but if you've got as much damage dealing potential as Dwight has in your other light warriors, you might as well go with the Brack because you could make a 3-turn fight into a 1-turn fight.
Oh, and heads up, we got a robot chicken over on BurtReynoldz.
Yeah, get your robot emotes out in chat for everybody's favorite patrolling semi-sentient robot machine.
Now, this brings up an interesting strategy, and I want to get your opinion on this, Rock Solid. If you're high enough levels, I know you can go ahead and take this to get the extra experience. If you're lower level, do you still chance it to maybe see what might have been removed from the boss pool, or do you just take a chance on these quick flags of just going with it and hoping that you don't run into anything difficult?
If it's me, there is the information advantage that you just mentioned, but that's not why I would take it. Why I would is to get more levels on my Black Wizard so that their health is a little bit higher. But in this case, the Black Wizard was down. So it might have just been a matter of this is the fastest way to get out of the fight now that it started.
That's entirely possible, and there's also the consideration, since the Mazda rolled -2, maybe you just take the fight to make up the breakpoint levels to get that extra swing in before going into the Temple of Fiends.
Yep, that's a good point. Welcome back, Duchess.
Thanks.
And that's my cue to go ahead and go retreat to the other side of the booth. Y'all have a good evening.
Okay, thanks very much for jumping in, Shadow, and for keeping us straight on the tracking as well. As Burt follows Dwight through Tiamat.
So we got some Tiamatting going on. And no, we no longer have Tiamatting going on.
Yep, so while you were gone, we saw a War Mech fight from BurtReynoldz. And Burt's Black Mage is still down. I think we're seeing 3-man here, potentially.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I heard your I guess like your deposition in relation to the Black Mage. The Black Wizard, regardless, just has terrible HP. It's never gonna get, it just doesn't go anywhere. Like, look at it right now, 271 on Dwight's side, right? I don't know if it's at full HP, but it's just very, very bad. So I'm definitely agreeing with BurtReynoldz, because you know what you need your Black Mage for. Just a few fast, and at worst, you've got temper on your ninja. So I mean, it's not like you want to roll into anything with just temper, but you've got temper. So
yeah, well, those are all good points, and I'm just going to add to that as Burt picks up his opal at the Elf Prince. But the other thing is that they don't have access to life. So if anything happens to that Black Wizard in Topher, you're not getting it back. So why depend on it? Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. That's a good way of looking at it. I guess when you know from the start, right? I mean, Cure 4 is pretty much all you got. You've known that in the first 10 minutes. It's one of those it's just one of those decisions, I can't really say, right? I mean, I guess I'm leaning on my earlier thoughts of this is a ham seed. Like, I'm already swinging for days, so. But Topher makes a liar, of all of us. So.
Yeah, and Sarasan asking in chat, do you raise the Black Mage up to have the warm body? Definitely you do. And also with the short Topher, I think Burt's going farther than that. He is going to try and use the Black Mage Wizard, as you saw him swapping equipment around there. But it's just that, why waste the levels on it when it's already got access to the spells it needs to have? And if Nuclear drops, it's not going to make a difference if it's at 271 HP or 298. So that's probably what's going on here.
You got the Oxio. That's actually great to go to the waterfall and get the Oxio. Most situations, that would suck. But because you've already got the free airship, et cetera, that's amazing. Yeah,
and it's one of those things where you probably leave that check off because you don't have Oxio as long as you can. Mm-hmm. And then finally, you're thinking, okay, well, I've checked everywhere else. It pretty much has to be there at this point. And you go in, you get it, and you continue on through your Sea Shrine. Neither of them has the water orb lit yet, but Burt looks like he's going for it right now.
Oh, yeah. Burt's not playing. Burt's trying to get that championship right under his name, so.
Yeah, Burt has definitely had his serious face on for these two matches so far. Plowing through, he wants that advancement.
Listen, if you're a Dwight fan, send him some spirit fingers, y'all. I mean, because Bird is a trucking. Although that's a bit of a flex, checking that chest. I'm just saying that for giggles. That's not a flex. It's in your way, so it takes no time. Nope, never mind. He's flexing. Bert's like, I don't even know where Dwight's at. I'm frivolously checking chest. Frivolously.
Yeah, do we have better trap Cheshire turned on? Is he thinking that he might get something good in there? I'm just looking
I don't
right
know.
now.
I'm just hyping it up like WWE Raw.
Yeah, I hear you.
Ribbon -5. Look, it's worth it as soon as you find another ribbon. Especially when it's definitely worth it when you find another ribbon.
Yeah, for sure.
Looks like that could have been the percentage play, just I'm gonna play percentages. There's probably not gonna be anything here, but if I find a ribbon somewhere where it's not gonna take too long to find it, then I'll be good. Found that ribbon, was like, well, those are my percentages. Not playing that game ever again.
Yeah, and I just checked. Better Trap Treasure was turned on, so
okay.
it's not like for people calling hacks in chat. I know it's just jokes, but it's actually not hacks. It's knowing that chest with Better Trap Treasure turned on, there's a pretty good chance that something decent is in there.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
It does look like some kind of wall hack or something, though, and someone runs straight to the one box and picks it up, and it's the ribbon.
Mm-hmm. As you get the ruby. So what I did not notice is the ninjas got fast as well. So, I mean, look, pretty much that ninjas got to wear a ribbon. It has to wear a ribbon. And the knight also has to wear a ribbon because it's got Cure 4. And so the knight kind of has to play a different role. Does that make sense? The knight is definitely going to be DPS, but it's going to be much more cautious. So if it needs to just not swing for 2 turns and it has to Cure 4, so what? Because the crux of your party is definitely that ninja with fast and temper. And because it's at level 4, you're going to have charges for days. So.
Well, yeah, no, and I like this because what you do is you leave that fighter in the first slot, you move the ninja down, and you focus your buff spells on the ninja. So if, the worst happens and some nasty stuff comes out, maybe the fighter bites the dust.
Did you just see the Invis? Okay, that's Invis. I thought that was Invis too.
No, but it is still a white or a black shirt. If it's a black shirt, it might be worth putting on.
It's still Invis if it gets really bad,
Yeah, that's a good point. It's an extra cast of Invis. I'm thinking compared to the Opal Bracelet, it's not going to be worth putting on. The only real advantage that it would have is protecting against sap.
Mm-hmm. See, they're already going in, just using fast, only on the Black Wizard, so it makes sense, right? Like, you knew the Black Wizard's only going to have so much utility. If it gets bodied even now, it doesn't make a difference. Because the thief isn't the ninja's not using any charges. So, and look, even the Black Wizard is level 29, so it's still respectable.
Yeah, this is a tanky party. Basically, the big risk here is nuke. But even if that drops, you've still got the ninja with all those backup fast and tempers. So this is
even with the nuke, you're actually more afraid of Fade because Fade could, they can't Fade. You're more afraid of Fade because Fade could potentially roll up 400, right?
Fade rolls higher than Nuke?
Nah, I'm lunching. It's Nuke rolls higher than Fade. I think Fade just has a higher threshold to go like at 300.
Okay, so like the floor on Fade is higher than Nuke, if I'm correctly.
That's what I think.
Yep, Kraken so we see Maz's way. Take care of Kraken, and 2 more fiends to go, I believe.
Tiamat, this is good stuff right here. Only used fast so far from the Black Wizard. Okay, temper this time. And a fast from the ninja. Some Invis? Touche. Invis getting some play. Nuke. Swing. 791 GG.
Okay, so
go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, please.
I was just going to say, Bert's headed off to see the final boss. What do you think it's going to be?
I have no idea. And it's carrying Tiamat. Wouldn't have called that.
Okay, so we've...
Go ahead.
We've got the same final boss as the last seed, Carrie and Tiamat, and it's going to be the same strategy. But no, actually, this time we're fasting both of our damage dealers, so it looks like we're going to sort of go with a divided offense approach as Tiamat drops a pretty damaging damage poison.
Mm-hmm. But you're already down to just Tia. This is going to be done over real quick.
Yeah, that must have been a low roll on HP for Carrie. Let's see what Tiamat's doing. Lots of absorb. That was just 5 hits for 5 damage, looks like.
10 hits for 752.
Yeah, that Katana plus 5 is unstoppable. It's cutting through everything.
Absolutely. GG. Well,
so there we go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say GG's. It looks like we have seen and witnessed the belt has been snatched from the hands of Dwight, and now it lays with BurtReynoldz. As we see in real time, the box is gone. Champ, no longer. And what does that say? And new! Exclamation point. BurtReynoldz.
And new champion. Feel like a UFC announcer here.
Pretty much.
That's gotta feel good.
Well, this is awesome. And I didn't see Nuclear actually come out from Carrie at all on Bert's side.
Yeah, chat doing their best Howard Finkel impressions at the moment.
Hopefully we can get Bert in here for an interview.
Yeah, Bert's not a big fan of the microphone. I think he might take a pass on that, but we'll see.
GG to you, BurtReynoldz.
Oh, according to Jay Scheidel, Bert is coming in. This is great.
Sweet. Ooh, 1098. Oh, 714. Ouch.
Yeah, Kraken showing that not only the ninja can deal 700 plus damage with a single swing. Whoa, just one-shotting everybody. And we don't have access to life. This is not good for Dwight. He may... we might see a reset shortly.
That's going to make you think about your entire whole life situation right there.
Yeah, Dwight taking a minute to consider his options. It looks like he's not going to throw in the towel. He's thinking about levels maybe and looking for a grind, but I'm not sure where he's flying to.
Neither do I.
Maybe there was some magic that he wanted at level 3 white magic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh!
Oh, wow.
Great. I love it. Checking the tombstones in Elfland. That's so good.
Touche, where we lay Dwight to rest. His time at the top was nice, but now we have the new, the impeccable, the indelible, the incredible, something else that rhymes with edible. BurtReynoldz in the booth. GG.
Was my mic on?
Yes, it is. Welcome, Bert. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good now. That was
yeah.
I had my heart rate going at the end there.
I don't doubt it. You know, you were just focused, laser focused for both of those runs, tore through them very quickly, found good grinds. Did you feel like you were ahead in the second match?
In the second one, I did for sure. The first one, I felt a little bit behind after like my early game. I took like 3 wipes to Garland. You know, when you start off with 3 wipes to Garland, you feel pretty behind. But that second one felt really good. The second one worked out really well.
The level 1 magic, the low level magic in general, for the first seed that we rolled was not the best, was it?
No, not really. Like rub is decent. I think I got unlucky on like missing 5 rubs on Garland or something.
Yeah, should of course work on the very first boss in the game, but you recovered, you came back and you took out Garland. I think the two of you followed pretty similar paths through both of the seeds, including skipping the Volcano Armory in the first one. Did you think about that? What was your thought process when you decided to skip that? Because Duchess and I both thought that was a play you'd want to do.
Well, the only reason you open boxes is I guess there's 2 reasons. You want a ribbon and you want money. And as soon as you get enough money, I mean, you can buy pro rings, you can buy the bracelets you need, you can buy the magic spells, and that's really all you need for beating the game.
Okay, so you were basically in the mindset where it's like, we're not going to go to Volcano unless we want to continue through and light the orb.
Yeah, I'm never going to Volcano unless I'm full clearing, or I'm beating the Fiend. You'll notice, like in the early game, I stopped in both seeds on Earth for grinds to get money. That was mostly to get money, right? And to get your early couple levels. And then once you have money, you can just skip chests unless you're looking specifically for ribbons.
Yeah, well, the grinds were really what made the difference in this second match because, staying on the Volcano theme, you found that really great tile up on that second floor of Volcano, whereas Dwight bypassed it and went towards the end of the dungeon and looked at some other trap tiles. So how did you feel when you saw that grind?
Oh, which grind was that one? It was some quick seeds.
It was the Mage Fighter grind.
Oh yeah, that Mage Fighter was really good until they damage poisoned me. Or no, stone poisoned me.
Oh yeah, they did do that.
Yeah, so great runs, Burt, and we are of course joined here in the booth by Dwight. But before we check in with him, Duchess, how about you? Did you have any questions for our new champion?
I mean, how's it feel to actually take the belt straight from the hands of the champ themselves in front of all the people?
Well, it feels pretty good. I think I lost a spell zap like 3 times. So this feels pretty good. And I think I'm the second both hardcore and Irongol champion. So I hold both belts at the same time.
Oh, you flexing right now, BurtReynoldz.
I think Dwight technically was the first one to ever do it, and he did it for an hour.
Technically, I did have both belts for an hour.
We're not sure if that one counts, though.
Caleb said it didn't count, but I don't know.
Nah, we gonna say that counts. Well, congratulations, Dwight. I gotta ask a reciprocal question to you. How's it feel getting the belt ripped from your hands from that brand in front of all the people? Tell us that.
I couldn't. It feels pretty bad, but I couldn't lose to anybody better than Burt. You know, it's pretty awesome. Burt's great competitor. Really knows this game really well. So I mean, it feels good. I'll start at the bottom and I'll start throwing out challenges and climbing again. So I mean, that part feels pretty good because that means I can just race more people now and
there you go.
Work my way back up and take it back here.
I think you get to play in the Duckling Derby now that you've lost.
Okay. Yeah. Nope. I'm not touching that Duckling Derby. I would lose really bad. I get embarrassed in that Duckling Derby. These ducks are crazy.
Yeah, we're coming for you, fellas. We're coming hard. Dwight, I want to say congratulations on running an excellent race. The first race in particular was really close. I believe that you both entered Topher at almost exactly the same time. Through much of that first race, you were screen for screen, both making similar decisions, both showing us how well you can play this game. The second round, though, the tale of the night seems to be that early grind that Burt found and you had trouble with, because you found a good grind, but it was really tough enemies and you were at level 6. So we saw you take a pause and start looking for an alternative. What was going through your mind at that point?
Well, I had went to Northwest Castle first, because if I have the key, I'll check there real quick, because I get to grab a couple boxes, which I found a ribbon in too, which was cool. And then I found some mummies and I had Fire 3. And I was like, sweet, I'll just take these down a couple times, get some cash, go to Elfland, hopefully find some spells. And then they like damage poisoned me and killed me. And I was like, well, this sucks. And then I went to Earth Cave and I found the eventual grind I ended up using, but I couldn't kill those enemies at the time. And so I knew that I was really, really slow. But I just took a pause and went and found some enemies that I could kill, got some money, got a couple levels, got lit 3, went back, grinded on the Gershark, Big Eye tile until I got enough levels, but wasn't able to get back in it.
Yeah, those XP pinatas definitely got you back up to scratch. And, props for staying in the race. You were right there in Topher along with Burt, just a few steps behind, and unfortunately did catch a wipe as you did there on one of the final Fiend refights. So it can happen to anybody, and it just goes to show how close the race was. Duchess, any questions for Dwight?
Nah, honestly, I'm just glad to have commentated and enjoyed a great match from the both of you, and looking forward to watching you climb back up. Because once you get the taste of the belt, it's just hunger. You're gonna itch for again. So I know you're gonna be gunning for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing these Chaos Rampage facts are pretty fun. I probably lost the first race because I didn't. I would have made it a little bit more competitive in the first run. Had I think I practiced with the wrong flags, because the flags I practiced with when I played didn't have all the early items on, so I just didn't turn them on. And then as I pulled up the second seat, I looked down and noticed that they were all on. So I could have went and grabbed the Crescent-like item and the Sarda item early, and I didn't. I waited until I had, met their vanilla requirements first. So there's a lesson, everybody. Always make sure you double check.
There you go.
Definitely. Well, look, we're going to get this wrapped up pretty quick because we've actually got another presentation, as I'm just about to mention in a moment. So for all of you that joined us tonight, this has been a Final Fantasy Randomizer community presentation right here on Randomania. If you enjoyed the show, come join us on our Discord at finalfantasyrandomizer.com. You can learn how the game works, even run a few seeds yourself if you want, and talk to us. We're friendly folks. Thanks to our broadcast partner, Randomania. We couldn't do the show without the stage. And big thanks to our crew, Jay Scheidel on the restream and Shadow Flames on tracking and backup commentary. Coming up this week, we've got the community race here on Randomania tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Speed Gaming community race on Thursday night at 10:30 p.m. But happening right now on RPG Limit Break, we have the last Duckling reveal. So that's going to be a presentation that does introduce the game a little bit. So it's another thing to check out if you're newer to the game, you're wondering how it works. You can get a feel for how the flags all influence the game's behavior. So hope you enjoyed the show, everybody. I'm RockSolid84, joined in the booth here by Duchess for Kaiosema. Until next time, thanks for joining us. Keep your head up, and don't forget to go fast.